All right. Thrive Podcast, episode 11, I think. Where are we? Where could we be? Somewhere with a creaky chair. All right. No, dude, I got this. It's called a C stand. If you're into like video production stuff, it's basically a tripod with the big pole sticking out of it, like 3 legs, right? A big pole sticking out of it, and then an arm that goes across. So I put a roll of paper on the arm that goes across, and now we have a backdrop, and I could be anywhere. I got it for my studio photography hustle that I've been working on. I guess I can talk about that. Yeah. So basically the second I was laid off from my job because of the quarantine and stuff, I was like, okay, so there's now, no excuse to go fully spending all my time like trying to make money with my camera and like that skill, right, to monetize that that thing, and like making YouTube videos. So right away I redesigned my website and I went after the like coffee niche. And so I made my Thrive Media Productions website all focused around coffee. And because I had noticed like in the coffee space that all the shops are closing, right? They're delivery, takeout only. Some are like totally closed, But the ones that are like working this situation right are roasters that are selling their beans online straight to people's houses, right? It makes total sense. And what I like positioned myself as in like the website was like a social media content creator for coffee companies. Like I just super niched down into that exact thing. Like, oh, I'm like this, and I made it look like a business too. It's like if you go to the website, I'll link it below if you're curious. It's not like Josh's photo business, like it looks like a company. It looks like I tried to make it look like, like if I could, I would have a van that had my logo like on the side, like a cable company, and so I disconnected my like person from it, right, and just made it look like a company. And it's like, this is all we do: social media for coffee companies. Hey, can you close that for me? Yeah, please. Thanks. And so what so like making social media right for coffee companies is that like it's like, so social media needs regular content, but how can I like do this remotely? So I'm like making a studio area where I can control the lighting, control the backdrop, and do like product photography. Like remote product photography is my main thing. And so the backdrop, the like big light stands, more like lighting and tripods, and basically like a controlled photography environment that also works nice for YouTube videos. So yeah, like a studio. I'm making a studio, I guess, is what I'm doing to do photo stuff. And it's been going pretty well. I haven't made any money yet, but I have had companies send me stuff because I need to like test the process, like I've also been spending the time in quarantine making like an actual LLC and business banking accounts and all that stuff that I just never actually got around to with the like freelance business, and it's like 9 a.m. My brain's all over, or I guess my brain's nowhere. It hasn't ramped up yet. Yeah, so I was spending like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the quarantine, like making the business, right? And now I've been spending time, like reaching out to where those coffee owner customers are to draw traffic to that. So I've got like the page built, right? And it's like if I can somehow get a coffee owner type person to see that page, I think it's optimized like pretty well to be like, oh, this is this is something I want. If a coffee owner looking for social media lands there and sees that, it's like, oh, like these are the guys that do this. So, so I had that step done, right? I built the foundation. Now I needed the traffic. So I started interacting in like Facebook groups. One of the phases of my market research for this like business plan was to see if there are so it was like Google search traffic, Facebook groups, Twitter, like to see how much coffee, is a thing on, like to see how big of a thing coffee is, like I look at Google search trends and it's something that's rising. Not everything, is like that. One of the other things that I had narrowed down to was like wine. That was another thing I applied the same like market research, I guess, to. Like I want it to be in an industry that's on the rise, and coffee, like specialty coffee, certainly is. And so I found these Facebook groups that are like the Facebook groups are literally like coffee business owners, like the exact people that I need to be talking to. And I managed to get into the groups because my business, right, is a coffee related business. It's like a coffee media production business. So that got me into the groups. And then I didn't want to come off super salesy and stuff. Like you'll just get kicked out of those groups if you're just come in and your first post is like marketing to yourself. So I went into the groups and just started making like posting nice pictures and videos and stuff and asking questions and trying to get to know people and like interacting in a way in the group that adds value in the ways that I can. Like half the questions are like, does anyone use this espresso maker machine and have this problem with this valve on the thing? And what did you do for stamps on your coffee cups? And do you use these plastic lids and these straws? And have you, like, what does the chalkboard sign outside your store look like? And it's like, okay, I'm of no use in these questions. But a lot of questions are like literally have to do with social media. And there it's like, I slip in and, answer honestly and in a value giving way. Right. And so at one point I had, a lot of Facebook groups have these little icons next to your name, and one of them is Rising Star, and that's the icon that I got next to my name because I created highly engaging posts right within the first few days of joining the group. So now I've got the star next to my name, so I've got some good reputation going for me. I'm established in the group, and what I did was I posted a video of me standing in front of the screen like this, and I was like, hey, if you need product photography for your coffee business, send me some beans, we'll get some photos. And it's like, do you want, so then I had like 20 people DM me, and I took the post down and started talking to these people. And so I went from like posting to people DMing to like actually working an actual relationship with these people, and started talking about like figuring out what different, like doing more market research, really, like figuring out how that offer could fit into the needs of different coffee businesses. So I had from the, I think 15 people commented on the thing and messaged me on the post I made. Like 5 continued talking to me. 3 actually, gave me enough information and, had me send them a contract to actually do the thing where they would actually send me coffee and I would take pictures. 1 has sent me coffee and I delivered the pictures and stuff. And then they sent me a testimonial and stuff. And I'm, asking them stuff like, what would you pay for this? And how would this actually fit in to your business in a real way so that I can optimize the, this is what the process is. If you're this, you do this and you get this, and, so that's one way I've been doing my like market research, right? Talking to the people in the Facebook groups, getting people to send me stuff that way. And another way is called the Dream 100. If you're an internet marketing type person, you've heard this term. So basically you make a list of 100 of your dream clients, and it can be like businesses, influencers, websites, blogs and stuff. So So I have this spreadsheet of 75-ish like actual coffee companies, like roasters and stuff, in places that I'd like to go work. Then like 10 or 15 like websites, YouTubers, podcasts that are, you know, influential in the space, which I figured out from posting in the Facebook group, in the coffee business owner Facebook group. I was like, what podcasts do you listen to, so that I can reach out to them and talk to them. And so what the last like 2 weeks were was I made emails for everyone in the 100 list of people in the spreadsheet. And I haven't finished all of it so far, but I had 70 or 80 of the like just actual coffee roasters, and I found, you know, good ones that I knew were in good business, from like highly rated Yelp stuff, you know, pages in like Los Angeles, Chicago, like big places. I just went down the Yelp list and like recorded the email address of all the places, and then different articles are like coffee companies that are killing it with online stuff right now, and I marked down all those. Trade Coffee Company is like a subscription coffee service that has a bunch of coffee companies they work with, so I like went on that website and recorded the contact information of all those, and then I went through all of those coffee companies and made like a custom email that was a pitch for this service. It's like, you know, a lot of it was copy paste, but I had different parts isolated where I would say something specific about that coffee company. Excuse me. Speaking of coffee, I feel like I'm talking at 100 miles an hour. Probably am. So I went through my list of the coffee companies with my email template for the service. And the last 2 weeks I was doing that, and I finished it. It was like grueling work. I had a big checklist. I was like 10 a day, because I had to like write something individual for each one. So I was spending all this time like getting a feel for the brand, searching through the website, watching their videos, and then I would say right away in the video like, oh, I liked how you went to Honduras and talked with these people, you know. And one has replied from Wisconsin, actually. And that's the funnel of it is like, wow, I started so wide, and it immediately got very, very, very thin, like the actual result. But they're super interested. They're like, it sounds like the exact type of client that I would want to work with. You know, it's someone who, like the company is just kind of blowing up, and they've done like photo and video and social media contracted work before, but they don't have a person that can do day-to-day tasks and manage that stuff on a regular basis, because they would have to like draft up a contract and a whole like project with a production company. So we were talking on the phone, and I was like, yeah, send me some coffee. We'll do like here's some product shots stuff, talk about some like social media type videos, or like what are some ideas that you want done with all this coffee that you're sending me. I'm getting a lot of like, I've got like 12 bags of coffee sent to me from these companies, by the way. And yeah, like I'm not going to run out soon. So I'm doing like the free service for them, right? And then I was like, you can also just throw me some tasks like that, and we'll see what it's like having a working relationship, you know? So, and they're like, oh yeah, totally. Like that's exactly what we want. Send us like a price sheet and stuff like that of what that might actually look like if we were to pay you, if it's a good fit. So I've got a potential like regular client, which is really cool. And I guess that's that whole story. So I'm kind of stuck in the spot of, I mean, I don't want to call it stuck, but I'm kind of like worried at this point, like, oh, I hope that you know, what I make is what they want, and that we can actually, you know, be clients and they pay me, you know, like, but I mean, I think my stuff's good enough, so we'll see. But I'm going to make some social media stuff for a coffee company. And, so my actual job has been closed. Like I said, the thing that started this whole coffee business venture. And, my goal is to not go back, you know? So that's why I've been working so hard at this. I don't want to like it's nice being, dude, to me, like, instead of going to work, I think like this, obviously I can't go out and interact with people, but like where I live in this, compared to where my friends live, remote part of the country, I'm not doing too much going out and socializing anyway. So it's like, dude, I would rather be like at home working on this stuff that I like to work on than going to work at a bar, So hopefully I can, get some clients to a big enough and regular point, that I can either have some runway to go on or some like regularity to the like stuff that makes me money that's not a job, so I don't have to go back to that job because I don't want to. And yeah, so that's been fun. I finished. Okay, total next topic. I finished my. No, I don't want to talk about that yet. I haven't been recording podcasts as much because now that like everyone's home. Usually I would. So I live with my family, and the time I would record my podcast was like a regular time in the week when they would leave to go do a thing that they all do. So it's like, oh, the family is all gone for this thing that they all leave to do every week. That's when I record a podcast. But now no one's going anywhere, so everyone's home all the time. So now I have I reset up like this space out here in the garage. Spoiler alert, that's where I am, out in the garage again. And I guess I could have done that this whole time, but now I have a backdrop, so it's a reason for me to come out here and do it. I guess that's what I was talking about. I'm recording the podcast because I got the backdrop. Hooray. I finished a journal. I got like my red one that I've shown you guys in my like habits videos and stuff. Yeah, I finished it. I wrote things in all the pages all the way. And now I'm doing it in a second journal. And it was cool to see. I like things that are like a physical manifestation of my continued effort and like attention on one thing, because that's tough as someone that, I don't know, it has trouble focusing on things for a long period of time. That was the thing that I got into making like these friendship bracelets over the summer. It was like, I never thought it was something I could sit and do, and that's why I like it. And that's the same reason I like the journal, and that I'm proud of having a second journal. Like figuring out what way of doing the journal is the way that's going to make me keep doing it. And I've really like found that. So that's cool. So I found the recreatable way of doing it, filled the whole journal with it, and now I'm doing it to this one. I'll let you guys know if anything changes about the way I do it. All right, that's it. That's been this episode of the Thrive Podcast. You can pick up a Thrive sticker, a Thrive hoodie, with the links in the description. You already know that if you've watched this far into my podcast. If you watched this far into my podcast, I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Thank you to John, Ian, Ty, Nick, Ben, Ryan, Trent, and Noah for picking up a hoodie. Also thank you to Ashley, Colin, Kyle, Paula, Danny, Sam, Samantha, Jared, Travis, Bridget, Kendrick, Michael, Judy, Emily, Amaka, Jade, Jess, Trinity, Eric, Jesse, Ellie, Harpreet, Jordan, John, Riley, Dante, Ryan, Elijah, Alec, Olajuwon, Matt, Anna, Eamon, Giovanni, Jackson, Hayden, Johnny, Milena, Kimberlyn, Jesus, Alex, Minkang, Tyler, Abigail, Joe, Victor, Joel, Nicholas, Sarah, Noldwin, Mikey, Simon, Adam, John, Andres, Clayton, Arterios. Thank you guys so much.